Hi, I'm Caitlin. This is my audience.
Okay, you should use your computer.
Okay. Do you remember the first time you went to a circus? Or maybe saw an elephant or tiger? Have you ever wondered what it would be like to care and raise one of those types of majestic animals? Well, the growing trend in America now in pet ownership and adoption is the field or area of exotic pet ownership. Many people have pets in their homes, such as domestic cats and dogs. However, there is a huge trend of exotic pet ownership that is growing rapidly in America and with devastating and often fatal results for the pets themselves. Owning and selling of exotic pets are a big industry in America now and growing bigger and bigger every year. According to the Humane Society of the United States, this growing trade of wild animals for pets has an annual revenue of at least $10 billion, which is second only to arms and drugs smuggling. That is one big reason why it is so popular. It means big money and big income for those that buy, breed, and sell these animals to the general public. But what about the poor animals that fall many times victim to many of their pet owners not be properly equipped for caring for them? I would like to persuade my viewers to not purchase an exotic animal until you have done a thorough investigation of what that particular animal will need to survive in your home. Would you keep a cat in a fish bowl or a hamster in a horse stable? The ASPCA states that most of our exotic pet owners make very poor decisions, a lot of times when they are looking at the living spaces and consumption needs for their exotic pets. These exotic animals are taken from their natural habitat while they are still young, which causes them much stress and problems adapting to a domestic home. Normally, they would be left in the wild, which is their natural habitat. So they are allowed protection for them in the way nature naturally allows their species to survive. I believe they should not be private collections just for for pet owners to brag or ew and awe over. One reason experts that work with animals believe it is bad is because they say that it took at least 5,000 years and maybe longer than 10,000 years for wolves to evolve into dogs. So they say there are thousands of years of difference between a wild animal and a domestic animal. Domesticated animals like dogs and cats don't do well without people, while wild and exotic animals don't do well with people. So there is a difference. In addition, many people know little about the needs of exotic animals, and statistics show us that exotic pet owners are not keeping up in meeting their needs. Many monkeys, birds, and wild cats, for example, all can travel several miles in a single day. A walk on a leash to the park won't cut it. Since most of the people who keep exotic animals cannot meet their needs, the animals may be caged, chained, or even beaten into submission. Malnutrition, stress, trauma, and behavioral disorders are also more common in exotic in pets. Also, getting medical care is very difficult, and not just because it may be illegal to have them, but also because finding a proper vet that can care for them is usually next to impossible to find, unless you have them caged in a zoo. Another reason I wish to add why exotic pet ownership is not a good situation is because housing these exotic animals can also be not only dangerous to you, but also bad for your health-wise. Exotic animals carry a ton of diseases that can affect humans. Hepatitis A, rabies, ringworm, measles, salmonella, and many diseases are just prime breeding grounds that accompany a lot of these exotic animals. Some are even fatal. I am sure many of you have seen numerous shows on TV or Animal Planet about exotic pets and told they have these animals taken on their pets' owners, neighborhoods, families, and the areas that they live in. One show in particular that strikes a very distinct and graphic picture in my mind when thinking about pet ownership gone bad is Fatal Attraction. This show is on the Discovery Channel, showcases crazy pet owners that think because they have some special bond with that animal that this animal will not harm them. Some of the show's animals have been lizards, alligators, snakes, tigers, monkeys, and buffalo. In each of these cases, the pet owner made wrong decisions in caring for their pet, which cost the pet owner their life. In most cases, it is because for some reason the pet owner let their guards down and forgot that their animal is wild. One show showcased a python snake that was over 20 feet long. The pet was unnourished and not properly cared for, and even though the owner had this pet for over 9 years, the snake took advantage of just one single moment with their pet owner fell down inside their home and he is holding the snake, even though the snake had been handled 1,000 times by the same pet owner. Because the snake was hungry, he took advantage of the pet owner when he fell, and the snake's instinct immediately went into food mode. The snake ended up trying to devour the 6'3" guy for supper. In conclusion, I am not saying that all exotic pet adoptions are bad or harmful, but only suggesting that each of you that are thinking about adopting a wild or exotic animal to do a ton of educational research on your pet before you purchase them. Talk or go to the local zoos to ask questions about the species of that particular pet that you're interested in adopting to see the pros and cons of that animal. Maybe visit someone's home that actually has an exotic pet or wild animal that you're considering owning. Ask them questions. Be sure that you have the right personality and patience to be able to care for that pet. Even the most well-meaning person can become frustrated after trying to meet the high cost and special needs of an exotic pet. But please do not set the animal loose. That is both dangerous and illegal. The animal can spread disease to native species or could kill native animals and free-roaming pets. Setting the animal loose is also cruel to the animal, since he or she is not adopted into the habitat. Please, above all else, consider the pet that you're considering to adopt, and always think of their best interests before thinking of your own egos of owning a special species. Exotic pet ownership should be met with great care and responsibility. If all of your facts and information and financial needs are met, try taking the pet in for just a few weeks to see if it will be a right fit for you and your family before adopting. Remember, your happiness and enjoyment of having an exotic pet should be a positive one.
Good job, kids.
Good job.